Hello and good evening to the Skippy Challenge tonight. The Skip Barber Challenge Trophy here tonight from the Circuit of the Americas. So we have a packed grid tonight with very illustrious drivers here. Still piling up, maybe coming out of some official racing right now. And we are good to go then in less than a minute or more than a minute, whatever. In a minute we will have the qualifying, and then we have two races each 30 minutes in this format. Later on we will spin the wheel again for next week, and then we will see what happens in the next week's race. If you look into the calendar, we see we have done Virginia, we have done Sebring, now we are at the Circuit of the Americas in the West configuration, and next week it will be Lime Rock Park West Bend Chicane. So it's the official iRacing schedule we are doing here, of course, and you are still able to join into the action here in the Skip Barber Challenge Trophy. So, qualifying underway, it seems. Let's check on the cars on track. We have Stefan Krumpholz here, we have Gordon Vondenbergen, we have Tobias Bollmark still in the pits, and running Anders Nielsen, Daniel Tufts, and Dave Dawson is already on his way.
Yeah, 25 minutes normally.
Oh, we have still the sound on. Yeah, well, it is like that today. Maybe nobody turned it off. So we have some audio from the races here tonight. So now it's qualifying time. Okay, now I got it. I was too fastly speaking then. Yeah, this. Yeah, it is many Kleinholder. You're saying it in the chat. Many off tracks. I lost about 1.5 of safety rating in, I don't know, 8 races. Most in one race alone, of course. Just with getting some off tracks, it is enough for losing much safety rating. Oh, thank you, Mr. Krumpholz. Again, one another month. 5 months in total by now. Thank you. And let's check on Chris Wayne is already on the track now. The man who organizes all of the cup, trying to warm up his tires. And of course, that's also what Geoff Randall is doing here. Yeah, very tricky corners, tight ones, where you have to brake way earlier than you expect to make a good run through them to keep the speed up in the Skippy. And then, yeah, especially this corner where he's going through now on the outside curb. If you would follow the line to the outside and you have, I don't know, 2 wheels on the outside on the green patch, that's already an off track. And yeah, it will hurt, of course, your qualifying. 3 laps, the people here can go. And then again, 2 races. And Geoff Randall starting now his first qualifying lap. Let's hop on board and check out what we got here. Surfing the corners in the S's. more like ski driving. Now the little jump. And he's still going very carefully here, trying to widen yeah, the car spin a little bit to not go into a full spin situation. And here comes the very, very tricky one, in my opinion. He closes the distance to the inside curb. Not going fully to the outside. You could open up there the corner, but it isn't quite necessary. Yeah, going short here, going tight in this triple right corner. And this, of course, is a very, very special one in the Skippy. To not lose the rear or oversteer, and also the last corner, of course. Pretty important to go on the long, long straight, running up that hill. Klaus Biedermann in the moment with the fastest lap, but already relegated to P4. Ryan Jackson in first place right now. Let's have a look at the lap times. So there they are at the top of your screen. So Geoff Randall now in P2. Let's check out if we can look into another car's perspective. Let's try with Gordon Vondenberg. Previous lap, 1:45.764. His first and best up to date, of course. Now running his second lap. Yeah, taking it pretty tight here. Here the track limits are not so strict, but in this corner especially very strict on the outside. And it's Benny Simonsen now in pole with a 1:44.422. Good evening, AJ, in the chat. Gordon coming around the last corner. He was in P4 and isn't quite improving. He stays in P4. But Ryan Jackson and Geoff Randall traded places. Ryan Jackson now in P3, going up into his last lap, while Benny Simonsen in pole is still on his second. And it looks quite, he is found already the heat in the tires to commit more. If you compare that to what I showed you from Geoff Randall's perspective, it's a total difference because the tires are already heated up. So they now work like a charm. Or at least a little bit better. Benny Simonsen, 1:43.966. I would do that in the race, in the last quarter or something, or last third of the race. I could go into the 43s, I guess. But he has the ability to put that car on pole in the 43s. I'm always amazed by the skill of the drivers here in the front. And it's Ryan Jackson over the line. Down to P5 because Gordon Vondenberg did improve to P4. Benny Simonsen is in the pits. Okay. So he has quit his run at a mile, still on his third lap. 44. He's 2/10 quicker now, Adam. Going over the line. And he is... No, he is in P2. He stays in P2, Adam Miles behind Benny Simonson. And Chris Wayne is in P7. Is anyone still running? Nope. Everyone is through. AJ Campbell with no lap. I wonder if he is running the race. Let's see. So, of course, we got our gridding. Is it ready? Yeah, there it is. Benny Simonson on pole, in front of Adam Miles. Behind them, Geoff Randall and Gordon Vonenbergen in the second row. Ryan Jackson in P5, Daniel Tubbs in P6. P7, Chris Wayne, Klaus Biedermann in P8. Paolo Ansioso
So
in
just in
P9.
case anyone missed it, it is 2 30-minute races. It will say more laps on the thing, but just ignore that. It's just iRacing.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Two
make sure you
30-minute
unflip
races. Thank you. Two 30-minute races, as announced again. So, Paolo
No reverse grid today.
Ansioso in P9, Tobias Bollmark
Thanks,
in
Rich.
P10, P11, Dave Dawson, P12, Anders Nielsen, AJ Campbell, and Stefan Krumholz at the back of the grid. So that is that. And we have the chance. No, we don't have. Yeah, AJ doing last to first could be. No qualifying, of course. Of course, he doesn't need that. But it's sometimes smart if cars in the front will fight and spin. Maybe this will help here at this track. With the tight corners, we have seen it. It's pretty difficult, and now the time is up. We are ready to race. Let's see if the voice chat is still on. And we are ready here at the Circuit of the Americas for our Skippy Challenge here tonight. The Skip Barber Challenge Trophy with 2 races here.
Good luck, guys, and have a lot of fun.
Yep, it seems the chat is still
Yeah,
on.
good luck. Have fun.
Whatever. It's good to hear maybe later on some of
Thanks for reorganizing.
the guys talking about what happens on the track. So we are filling up the grid, it seems. Still some are missing. And I think, yeah, there's Benny, and we are good to go then in a couple of seconds.
Green, green, green.
And there they go. Fine start for everyone. Trying already to get into position, but very, very good start for Adam Miles. He's side by side with Benny. Around the first corner. But there's not much space on the outside. Still enough to make it without any incident. And here they come the first time into the S's, and there goes Adam Miles into the wall. Rest of the field seems quite stable now. Of course, I try to pick up later on what happened there with Adam. Adam now down to P14 and behind in the back. Let's stay with the live action for now. Benny Simonson in the lead. having some moments here around the triple right-hander. Of course, the Skippy is very, very tricky to control there in the beginning. And here comes the rest. Everyone manages to get around the corners, it seems. Oh, there's already a little off track, of course. Geoff Randall now in P2, right behind Benny Simonson. Behind them with 2 to 3 tenths now Gordon Vondenberg. There is a little gap, but of course we are looking at the leader and Geoff Randall going into the S's. And this seems to work out quite good for everyone. Now the tires getting some heat into the system. Oh, there's another slight off track there in the back. But everyone seems to manage that. It will be tricky, maybe even ending in drive-through penalties. Very shiny, the car of Tobias Bollmark. Now the triple right-hander works quite better on the second lap and will improve and improve over the course of the race. So we have 17 laps to go. That's 3 more than an official race. So not a huge test of endurance, but with 2 races back to back, it's a tricky evening for all the Skippy races. Let's look into the front. Benny Simonson still in the lead. Tobias Bollmark especially with the fastest lap at this point of the race. And Geoff Randall is looking for an opportunity or trying to provoke an opportunity. While we have this situation here. Stefan Krumpholz, Klaus Biedermann in the battle with Dave M. Dawson, and he goes through Stefan Krumpholz in front of Dawson. Swerves around the corners and created a little bit of a gap, but to close the gap in front to Daniel Tufts here, there's some work to do. Daniel Tufts right behind Chris Wayne in the 6th spot right now. And can Gordon Vondenberg keep up with the top 2 guys, Geoff Randall and Benny Simonson? And he also has Ryan Jackson in his back. So let's try for the replay. I hope it will work, but I know it doesn't. That must be a later situation. Here we go. So there's the start. We are going at it. Adam Miles in P2, round the outside, with the possibility for an overtake now on the inside. That's not an off track. Oh, and then he wobbles and contacts the car of Benny. So yeah, there's basically nobody at fault. It happens in a 2 wide situation on the first lap. That's Skippy Racing and Adam Miles in the pits. Sitting this one out, it seems. We're back with the front runners, with Benny Simonson followed by Geoff Randall by close distance. And at least for now, behind them, Gordon Vondenberg can keep up the pace. Little moment there for Benny in the front. Benny Simonson on the limit. You could see a little bit of smoke there from his tires. And now again for the draft run into T1 up the hill. Benny with the fastest lap at the moment. Whoop, whoop. Through the inside, does it work? Now, Benny in sort of a place like Adam was. And back to the chopper for this fight here. And you don't want to go over the yellow curbs. They will not only unsettle your car, they will maybe break it. And that's now the opportunity for Gordon Vondenbergen to get a little bit closer. Oh, more than a little bit closer. Oh, a little contact there. And we're still good to go. Back we have Paulo Ansioso, Klaus Biedermann and AJ Campbell running. But they are still also close together. So there are some places to gain. Anders Nielsen in P10. Stefan Krumpholz in P9 with Dave M. Dawson now again in front of him. Chris Wayne in P7. Daniel Tufts in P6. Tobias Bollmark in P5 as the last time around. And Ryan Jackson in P4, Gordon Vondenbergen as seen in P3. And there is maybe another possibility for an overtake, but this time Joff defends and attacks himself. Great double move like a chess player here. But this is very tight. Too wide into the S's and Gordon Vondenbergen get through. Of course, he lost a little bit of his run. There's some problems here. Maybe he's still looking into his mirror. And you see what I mean. If you see the apexes, it's quite tricky to navigate it there if you have a car in front. You could say, yeah, the guy behind undercut my line and went too far to the inside and whatever, but it's so tricky around these corners, especially in a fight. And at the moment, Gordon stays in P2 behind Benny. But I would say not for long, and maybe he will lose 2 positions at the end of the upcoming straight. Going into lap 7 of 18. So my overlay did rise the laps up to 18. Of course, this is a 30-minute race. Kind of stuff happens. And what is Joff doing? Is he going for the attack run? All to the inside on the brakes. But nope. No chance there to attack. And on the other hand, yeah, Ryan Jackson is rubbing his hands. Seeing the people in front of him. He's very happy if he can get some positions here. Closing in. And of course you have to trust the cars in the front that they won't spin or do something funny. Here we have Krumpholz, followed by Dave Dawson again. switching positions here in the midfield. And I don't know if Stefan Krumpholz has no best lap. Does that mean... Yeah, it does mean he has an off-track or situation in every lap of the 8 we have run. Maybe now he gets a best lap. Nope. Oh, he got one. 1:45.564. So this means he has already 7x. Could be a problem later on. And Benny expands his lead over Gordon Vondenbergen. Vondenbergen now 1.2 behind. And I don't think that Geoff Randall will wait for more gap for Benny Simonsen is created. So maybe he will try another chance for an overtake. Slingshots his car around this tricky corner, and now it goes into the triple right-hander, or the Vettel corner as I want to call it. And here comes Geoff. And he definitely is on the attack. Benny, 1:43.884 at halftime. We go into the 43s. And that is looking good here for Geoff Randall, making the job done, but 1.4 seconds to the leader, Benny Simonsen. So this looks quite different than in the beginning of the race, where all were still packed together. But apart from that, we have Chris Wayne in P7, right on the gearbox of Daniel Tufts. And also those here
Go right, slow down.
are fighting big time. And we heard it, a little slowdown for Dave Dawson. Yeah, he had to slow down here and is potentially back in the race now again. Where's Anders Nielsen? There he is. Went a little bit wide. Is now again back behind Dawson. And all I can see in the session events is off track, off track, off track. So there are many, many off tracks now to look at later on. And again now Gordon with the attack. Is now back maybe in P2, and from the cameras of Mr. Jackson here, it looks dangerous, but now they sorted it out again for the S's. Yeah, and that's what I talked about earlier. You know he's there. So if you're Ryan Jackson and you know that Gordon Vondenbergen is cutting down on you from the outside, he backed off perfectly, not losing much of momentum. But he had to, because it doesn't work out otherwise. Then again, who is at fault then there? But in the baddest way, the race would be over for both of them. And that's an off track for Anders Nielsen. Yep, it is. Just check the log. And it's pretty full here now with off tracks in lap 10. So let's see if everyone managed to get through with no drive-through or disqualification. From a best lap perspective, we have many in the 44s by now. And just Benny Simonson in the front, 43.884. So back to this battle here. Again, Gordon von den Bergen in the middle, Jackson behind, and Randall in front. It looks like Gordon is closing in a little again in the draft on Joff. Leader is 2.5 seconds away. So pretty much what you can win here from the perspective of these three guys, it's P2. Because I don't think Benny Simonson is making such a big mistake. I mean, if they would work together, still then it's highly doubtable if they can catch him. And this was pretty dangerous here. Sticking the nose into the S's. Still backed off enough, so nothing did happen. Dawson behind Anders Nielsen. They are both closing in on Krumpholz. And Benny again with an improvement, 143.789. So let's take a look if Stefan Krumpholz is now getting some competition from behind. Having some side-by-side action, maybe, nope. Stefan Krumpholz and Anders Nielsen. see how Anders Nielsen turned in a little bit earlier to have a slightly better run there. But there's still, yeah, 2 car lengths between them. But again, closing in here. Got a better traction there. More speed earlier. And also in this part of the track, Anders Nielsen looks more racy. Let's see how the super fast right-handers look. Huh. I wonder why they don't take a tighter line there. And there he is. There he is, Anders Nielsen. Now he has the chance for a run on Krumpholz. There we go. Oh, in the front there's also a battle. Tuff and Wayne. But let's stay with this. Yep, worked out like a charm. While Tuffs and Chris Wayne are still at it, and Tuff stays in front.
Gordon, what are you doing, mate?
Oh, what is going on here? Let's have a little replay then.
I'm sorry.
What did happen?
In 2 corners,
Oh,
man, mate. Just give me a black flag. Nice job.
Pretty close call there. And super heartbreaking by Gordon. Maybe he...
Yeah, I was a bit confused because he told me I had wheel damage.
I'm a bit confused, mate. You parked it in the middle of a corner.
So discussions are heated up. Discussions
Twice.
are heating up. And somebody, yeah, he went into the pits. It's Geoff Randall. Maybe got a, either he got a meatball or his inks are full. Let's see what happens. So of course now Gordon in P2, Geoff in the pits. Yeah, and he rolls through, looks like a drive-through to me at first glance. So inks were fully loaded for Geoff Randall with the contacts with Gordon. Gordon now behind Ryan Jackson. And of course Gordon got also some inks there. So with 4 laps to go, everyone has to check on their ink limit, which I can't check from the outside, unfortunately. But would be pretty interesting on this track. Let's see how hard they race. In the lead still, Benny Simonson, all by himself. Having, yeah, living his best life here in front at the Circuit of the Americas. And behind them, Ryan Jackson and Gordon Vondenberg still in the battle for P2 now. With Geoff Randall got eliminated. So Anders Nielsen now behind Geoff Randall. Getting some draft there by Geoff. Maybe it helps him. But Geoff, of course, not happy with the drive-through. And I see that Anders Nielsen is gone.
Already lag out too.
Are you kidding me? Okay, I don't know what happened, but he's gone. Anders Nielsen may have crashed. He's just gone. That's it. That's his crash report. He's just gone. Yeah, sorry guys. Can't show anything there. And we are still in the race with 3 laps to go. And it is, of course, Gordon von den Bergen and Ryan Jackson in the battle for P2. Behind them, Tobias Bollmark in P4, Daniel Tufts in P5. Chris Wayne in P6 right behind. Geoff Randall also in contention. Stefan Krumpholz now in P8 after Anders Nielsen vanished and got blipped away. Dave Dawson in P9, Klaus Biedermann in P10, closely followed by Paolo Ansioso and AJ Campbell behind them in P12. So let's check out what Gordon can manage here to get P2 back. Going for a little too wide here, but nope. Nothing too fancy right now. And Ryan Jackson is escaping. Ryan Jackson is escaping a little bit here. We have another slowdown for Dave M. Dawson. And so Stefan Krumpholz is again in front of him. While Geoff Randall is already trying to get past Chris Wayne. Now it's the final lap. So 2 more positions to gain, I would say, for Geoff Randall, if he can make it happen. Already on the car number 69 by Chris Wayne. And now with a good run, again, on Daniel Tufts. Here they come. So this is the tightest battle, so I will stay here. Oh no! And he hits him! But still, in the end, no position changes? Or it is. Chris Wayne on the inside, going through, taking up P7 again after this contact. So, and Benny Simonson is already there and the winner in front of Ryan Jackson, Gordon von den Bergen in P3, Tobias Bollmark coming round the last corner in P4. Then it's Daniel Tufts. Oh, or is it? Side by side, Chris Wayne. And maybe he even loses out, yes, the position.
Well, 14 incidents, 3 slowdowns, not exactly a clean sheet.
What is happening now? Why is Ryan Jackson in P1? Are you kidding me? What happened to Benny? Benny Simonson now down to P11. Unbelievable. The ink limit must have been full by Benny Simonson. Just check the lap log. So Benny had a situation. But what did happen? We have him here on our screens. What? Running out of fuel or what? Isn't that the finish line? What is going on? I don't know. What a drama here. I need to check on the Discord, otherwise I will never know. So Benny just stopped, but yeah, we have 5 minutes now to clear that up. I don't know. Whatever happened, happened. Wow. So he just stopped in front of the line. Why ever? Unfortunately, I have no admin commands for the server, so I can't talk to them. That's pretty weird. So he got his fastest lap in lap 12. I could try to count the off tracks by hand then. Or filter by Benny Simonson, maybe that works. No, it doesn't. So if I could filter the incidents. I could count them up, but something must have happened, so it wouldn't make sense. Or did he really underfuel to not make it to the line? I don't know. And I can't know, so whatever it was. We have still 3 minutes to go. So I would say, if nobody knows what happened to Benny, it is what it is. And I would take the time to spin the wheel right now for next week. And then we will know what format we will have in the next week at Lime Rock Park, West Bend Chicane. Let's see if it works. Yeah, there it is. There is the Wheel of Fortune. And we will spin it now. And it's format number 3. We got it. And it's chosen by the Wheel of Fortune, of course. And just let me check on the Skip Barber Challenge Discord. You should all be there to, if you want to race here, you can still join in and have the time of your life in the Skippies. It's format 3. It's 2 races, of course, and top 15 reverse from race 1. We had that. It will be much fun as the last time. So it's race 1, race 2 with equal distance and not a sprint and main race. So both races will be in equal length at Lime Rock Park, but with top 15 reversed. So I get a little chat message by Chris Wayne right now. So breaking news maybe. What happened to Benny Simonson? Yeah, he's also not sure. Fuel maybe. I don't know. Okay, it is what it is. What a scandal. But maybe you need to be on the Discord to check that out. Oh, there it is. I slowed down because I was not sure who was at fault on lap 1. Oh, yeah, and it's Benny himself writing to me. He didn't want to win a race if it was his fault, the contact with Adam Miles. Yeah, but in the end, they were too wide. Basically, nobody did a big mistake there, and they just made contact, and Adam went into the wall. Yeah, I also would have wondered if it's because of fuel, because you could have seen that coming. So I wouldn't say you hold your line, Benny. And in the end, yeah, the track swivels before the S's a little bit. And it's on cold tires, and a little contact is then enough to make such an accident happen.
Just be aware it's a minute to grid on this second race.
Yeah, right. A minute to grid, then we're off again. So sportsman Benny Simonson not taking the win because he thought he was at fault for the incident on lap 1. So the gridding is running. So is the chopper. The fans are also in the stands again, of course. Yeah, wild situation then that Benny did, yeah, put the win away. But here we go for the second time of the evening.
Green flag, green flag.
Barney is waving the green flag, and here we go at the front. So as Jackson won, he's now in the lead in front of Vondenbergen. And behind them, there's some trouble going on, some position switches. Ballmark in P4, Daniel Tufts now in P3. And Chris Wayne now down to P13. So everyone also again has to look for their incidents. And here we go again, Gordon Vondenbergen in front of Daniel Tuff. And Tuff in P3 under pressure by Ballmark. And of course, Geoff Randall. Ballmark has to take evasive actions here. Here we go. You hear the tires screeching, also in the back. But they're all racing again. Benny Simonson overtaking Paolo Ansioso in the second to last corner, and behind them Adam Miles, but he is now on the inside of Paolo. And now in front of him, following the footsteps of Benny Simonson and also Chris Wayne, trying to make an overtake attempt. Daniel Tufts maybe losing out now on Ballmark. Yep, at least he get an ink. And Adam now in front of Paolo, and Paolo has Chris Wayne right in his gearbox. So that's a look to the front again. Gordon in P2. The rest behind him. And Ryan Jackson has a little bit of a gap in front of him. All sliding a little here. Whoop, or a little more. But he catched it. But still, Daniel Tough now has a good run on Gordon Vondenbergen. Let's take a look from the perspective of Tobias Ballmark, while Ryan Jackson is doing the fastest lap. Ballmark has his own troubles here, going also too wide. Leaving up some space for Geoff Randall to take his line into the S's. So everyone is pretty safe here behind Gordon. Oh, little mistake here by Tobias, but no consequences. No overtake by Stefan here. Benny already in P7. Followed by Dawson, followed by Adam Miles. Best lap, 1:46.1. Of course, here in the traffic. Yeah, he's taking the very tight line in the first part of this complex. Also a good corner to use the motor brake, the second to last corner. At least I would say this. And Vondenbergen with the fastest lap of the race. Here comes Adam Miles for P8. P8 of Dave Dawson. And it works. Now on the hunt again for Benny Simonson. You can already see again the spread of the field, but everyone has someone to fight with. So does Paolo and Anders Nielsen. Tobias Ballmark now being hunted down by Benny Simonson, and it was Krumholz with a little problem, and now we're going 3 wide right in this tricky corner. Benny had the most of that, picking up 2 positions, while Adam has now 2 cars between him and Benny. But again, he takes up the position from Gordon. From Stefan Krumpholz, of course. Just checked with one eye to the timing screen and had to name of Gordon on my view. Sorry for that. And Geoff Randall again right behind Gordon Vondenbergen. So we had that in the first race with maybe 2 times 4 incident points applied to Geoff Randall. Or maybe a meatball. But no, not a meatball, he made a drive. So it's pretty clear. And now it's the time for Geoff Randall to pick his fight. And he went through, is now in contention of a win if he can catch Ryan Jackson again. Ryan Jackson here in the lead. On the same level as Geoff and Gordon behind them from the lap times. And is free by 2.5 seconds. Timing is pretty weird here at this track sometimes. And Benny again now on the tail end of Daniel Tufts. Trying to go around the outside, but of course the distance is too great for the Skippy then on the outside. Now Benny with the opportunity in the last corner. And Daniel seems, he stays behind Benny. Just trying to get some of the sweet draft. And here comes Adam already. Daniel Tufts in the middle. Compared by the fastest lap times, Adam Miles clearly faster. Benny already creating a gap in this technical sector. So it is on Adam Miles to make a fast overtake. Stay with Benny. Trying to go around the outside, maybe outside-inside move, but he's just taking his run. But already, again, a little bit too close. Yeah, and he waited to make it happen here now on the straight. Already very well on the inside of Daniel. So Daniel now back to P6. And Gordon in P3 here, right behind Geoff Randall. They closed down by roughly a second. Can that be? Yes, it is. From 2.5 to 1.5 on Ryan Jackson. And yeah, Ryan Jackson will be cursing. Like, Gordon, fight him harder so I can stay in the lead and win 2 races tonight at the Circuit of the Americas. Daniel still quite good in the draft of Adam for a little bit more, but behind them, is Tobias Bollmark and Stefan Krumpholz. Yeah, and that was maybe too much confusion for Bollmark. The swerve from the inside to the outside by Krumpholz, and he lost it in the second to last corner. If you brake a little bit too hard and too late, takes your car out into a spin, and Bollmark now in P13 right in front of AJ Campbell, running down in P14. So as we are now in the order, let's jump to P12. There's Paolo Anzioso in P11. There's Anders Nielsen, P10, Chris Wayne right in front of him, Klaus Biedermann in P9. P8, Dave Dawson, if his steering is now not crooked. It should be still fine. A little bit more and the thing could be broken, but should be fine. And it looks like, yeah, it is a slowdown. Daniel Tufts in P6. Adam Miles now in P5, of course. In front of him, Benny Simonsen. And in front of them, the battle of Gordon Vondenbergen and Geoff Randall. And yeah, they still close down on Ryan Jackson by 2/10 now. So they are now down to 1.2 seconds. But they know that somebody behind them is lurking, and that is the shadow of Benny Simonsen and Adam Miles. They are closing in. So that will be a very, very interesting final stage of the race in 1 or 2 laps. And these two are trying to fight for the win. Which doesn't mean that the guys here now running in 1, 2 and 3 are slow. But Benny and Adam are still faster than them. And yeah, as they fight it in the beginning, maybe they could have extended that to 1 or 2 laps more. But in the end, they will be catched by Benny and Adam. It's up on board with Benny Simonsen. In case of fast laps, of course, it's quite obvious that Adam Miles with a 1:43.660 is the fastest man on track right now. I would say here we go. Benny Simonson closing in on Gordon von den Berg. Adam Miles fastest lap now, 1:43.636. So got a couple of tenths down from that last best lap. And Gordon still in the sandwich here.
Slow down.
Oh no, slow down for Geoff Randall. And Geoff Randall falling down the order behind Adam Miles and Benny Simonson. What is Gordon doing now? Maybe checking his mirror. Is an attack coming? Do I have to open up the corner? And Ryan Jackson will be sweating in his racing seat. Running in P1, but the gap is down to 1 second. But will Gordon now fight for his second place? But already the sharky nose of Benny Simonson is very near to Gordon von den Berg's car. But it looks like he backs off. Goes wide and yeah, not even taking the win in the first race, but giving Adam Miles the place here in the race. Number 2 of the evening. So yet still Adam Miles has way to go to get past Gordon von den Berg. Let's see what he's doing. Already on the inside. And Adam Miles now in P2. Gordon von den Berg in P3. Benny cutting a little bit of the yellow curb there on the second S. And with, yeah, 5 laps to go, I would say Ryan Jackson is not safe from Adam or even Benny or even Gordon, who also did close down little by little. So the battle for the lead is on. In lap 13 of 18. And let's get now into lap 14 of 18 with Benny Simonson now on the attack. Into T1, Gordon defends. And they went through. There's Joff behind them. Oh, there was a little bit of contact. They're going side by side into the S's. Oof. That was wild. But this time, maybe Benny Simonson going through, yes. But still Gordon on his inside for the next right-hander. Now he pushes through. Maybe to the delight of Geoff Randall, who closes down on them. Or maybe not. And Benny now with Gordon behind him. Oh, and Adam Miles already side by side with Ryan Jackson and went through. Now Adam Miles in the lead in front of Ryan Jackson, and Gordon von Embergen went into a spin. What a shame for the German driver. Let's take a look from the chopper. What did happen? Oh. Yeah, got stuck in the gearbox of Benny and then got hit from behind. Unexpected, of course, for Geoff. And now Gordon is running in P5. So they still had a good gap over Daniel. Daniel now behind them in the 6th place, of course. And here comes Daniel. And then comes Stefan. I don't think that Gordon has much of a damage. But let's see if his laps get worse. Maybe he can still lose 1 or 2 positions then. And what do we have here? Klaus Biedermann in P9 behind Dawson. Nothing has changed there. Paulo Ansioso behind Ballmark after his spin. Also following him within a second. And in the lead, we got in lap 16 Adam Miles, who's now clean by 0.8 of Benny Simonson, of Ryan Jackson, and Benny Simonson still right behind in P3. Does have to make his overtake happen. With a smoking tire through the inside of this tricky turn. Now handy in the triple right-hander, and he's through. So Benny now in P2, Adam in P1. Clear by 1.7 seconds. And Geoff Randall, yeah, 3 seconds behind Ryan Jackson. So there's some ground to cover. Gordon von Embergen in P5 still. Followed by Daniel Tufts in P6 and Krumpholz in P7. Dawson in P8, Klaus Biedermann in P9. Chris Wayne in P10 and Anders Nielsen in P11. So guys in the front turning their fastest laps are now pretty much 2 or even 4/10 faster than their fastest lap up to date. Especially Benny Simonsen. Having a good run this lap, should be maybe a 43.3 or 2 maybe. Let's see. If he can conserve this over the last couple of corners, the speed average he got by now. Or let's say the lap time average, which is more correct. On the outside, hopefully no off track, and nope, no improvement. Okay, so the best lap stays. Maybe there was an off track.
Slow down, Klaus.
Slow down again.
Thank you.
Oh, for Dawson on the main straight here, Klaus Biedermann. Still with the opportunity to make up a position. Now in P8 on the final lap of the race. Compare the fast laps. Yeah, they are quite similar between Dawson and Biedermann. And behind them still Chris Wayne lurking. So maybe something happens there. Let's take a look at the leaders first. Adam Miles in front of Benny Simonsen, now in the last corner, into the braking zone, round the corner, and taking up the win in race 2 tonight, in front of Benny Simonsen in P2, Ryan Jackson in P3. Geoff Randall comes around the last corner and is in P4. Ron von Embergen stays in P5, P6 goes to Daniel Tufts. There is Krumpholz in P7, and Biedermann really takes P8 in front of Dave Dawson. Chris Wayne in P10, Anders Nielsen in P11. P12 for Tobias Bollmark, Paulo Ansioso in P13, and P14 goes to AJ Campbell. So let's head to the
You broke it, Anders.
commentator's cabin and see you on the other side.
I reckon he stayed in that stand. So, thank you guys for following. Thank you guys for following. Did you hear me?
So let's have some quick interviews. And the first is, of course, Adam Miles. Maybe the only one. I can't pull him down again, so I go back up. Adam Miles, good evening. First race, pretty unfortunate with the incident. How's your view on that?
Yeah, it was a strange one. I had some overlap going down into turn 2, and then I think Benny took probably a normal racing line, which left me the red and white stuff on the inside. It was very slippery up on there with cold tires, and then on the exit, I mean the car was under control, and then it felt initially without watching the replay like Benny had started moving across to the right, but when I looked at the replay, he'd sort of held a straight line out of the corner, which again I think took me by surprise. I expected him probably to track out of the corner a little bit more, but just a tap of the front left to the rear right was enough to sort of pinball the car to the right, and yeah, had to drag it back to the pits, and then I was 40 seconds down, yeah, knowing that I was going to start where I finished anyway, so I might as well just park it and grab a drink.
Yeah, but I agree. I think yeah, it was a straight line, then a little bit of contact, and then yeah, you you went off, you pinballed, as you said. Yeah, in the end, Benny did stop in front of the start finish line.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't realize that until the race started, and I saw him lining up alongside me at the back of the grid. So yeah, I wasn't quite sure what happened there, but I figured it was probably something like that.
Yeah, I also wasn't sure. I thought about something happened with the incidents or whatever, or slowdown, which he didn't apply. But in the end, yeah, he went to the chat on Twitch and told me that he stopped because he wasn't sure that he wasn't was at fault maybe on lap
Right.
1. That's why he stopped in front of the finish line.
I made the second race more interesting.
That's true.
I think
That's true.
Benny at the start would have probably disappeared out at the front, so it was fun coming through the field together.
Yeah, I think so too. There were some situations where two cars were between each others, and yeah, that made it quite interesting. Like when you will, will you follow him? Are you able to do that in the next couple of corners, or is this gap going too wide? And yeah, but in the end, he left you through again, I would say, in T1.
Well, I thought that, but then I said after the race that there wasn't any need to do that, and he said he had a slowdown.
Okay.
So I did just have a look at the last corner, and yeah, he was all four
Pretty
wheels off the
wide. Yeah, yeah.
insides.
hmm
Actually, was it wide or
Or was it?
no? I think it was on the
Wasn't it?
apex of the
Wasn't
last
it
corner.
both? Or maybe I remember. No, no. I remember another situation where he went all to the outside, cut through the inside, and went through the outside again.
Right. Okay.
Which was like, I think, which he did to break the draft of the guy behind. But I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, the second race was good. Seemed to have good pace. Having a look at the lap times, 43.7
Yeah.
and 43.6. So yeah, the pace was there. And yeah, I was surprised I was able to drive away from Ryan at the end there. I expected him to hang on and come with me, but yeah, it was just as well as a 30-minute race because it would have been a bit tight with a 25-minute one.
Yeah, right, right. I could also imagine that Mr. Jackson is sitting in his race seat, sweating like, oh, when they will start to fight, can I, can I still win it? Time is running out maybe for them, but in the end, you were closing in so fast together that yeah, there was no chance for him.
Yeah, and it looks like he probably won the day with the first and third. So congratulations to Ryan.
Sure. That's correct. But in the end, I did spin the wheel in the break between the races again, and it's format number 3. So we have 2 races with equal length, but top 15 reverse then on Lime Rock Park, West Bend Chicane next week.
Okay, that should be good.
Yeah, should be. Maybe, yeah. I know that some people don't like this track, and I guess there will be showing up quite more on the grid next week on Lime Rock Park. So it will be pretty busy, and then with the top 15, yeah, could be tricky.
Yeah, this is. I know people. The off tracks here, everyone knows about them. They are very horrible, and you have to really think about using them, not using them tactically, but just making sure you have enough going into the last few laps to maybe survive a 4x or run wide a couple of times. I think the track itself, I think, is fine. I quite like the S's and some other sort of late apex corners like turn 1 or 2 from the end. Sorry, not 2 from the end. About 4 from the end
Mm-hmm.
of the lap. The sort of long left-handers with a late apex. They're interesting and they're different. So I think if they had a slightly more relaxed off-tracks system here, I think maybe a few more people would like it. But yeah, onto Lime Rock. I think free track and everyone knows Lime Rock Park. So hopefully we'll get back above 20 next week.
Yeah, and don't be surprised about a Westbend chicane. So heartbreaking zone and always a point for trouble, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, you get a good run through there, and you can make your life overtaking on the main straight a lot easier. So it's I think it's a nice addition to the track. I much prefer that chicane to the one that comes slightly earlier, the one before the hill with the red
Before the
sausage
hill.
curbs.
Yeah, because it kills
Yeah,
the hill, because the hill
exactly.
is the most fun part, I would say.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
So yeah, Adam, thank you for the interview. Nobody else showed up, so we're closing the booth right now, and I will get a mop and clean it up again. So yeah, have a nice
Thank you for
week.
your work as always.
Thank you. See you. Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye.
So that's it from here, from the commentary booth. And this was the Skip Barber Challenge trophy, of course. Happy to be here. Happy to make the commentary happen tonight. And we will see us next week on Lime Rock Park. If you still want to be part of this league, you can still join the Discord, talk to Chris Wayne, and you're in for the Skip Barber Challenge trophy in the second season. Thank you and good night. See you next time around.